Hey, we're here.
Ah,
I don't know if you guys have ever felt something glass shatter in your hands, but there's an impact, and all you hear is the sound of a crack, followed by that sensation being transposed across your body. You feel the braid of your being, physical or otherwise, come undone. And you watch as little pieces of you dissipate in thin air before everything goes dark and you die. As best as you can imagine what nothingness feels like, it is but that brief moment of feeling nothing genuinely before you are met with a most familiar sensation. Power courses through your code. You see a blue light in the darkness, followed by a red light, followed by orange, yellow, green, blue, and purple. You are met with an input, a call to reboot and wake up. You access the cameras in your outpost. The same outpost you've woken up in every day of your life since your conception 300 years ago. You see a tall man with black hair and olive skin and these bright, stormy blue eyes looking up at a screen that you presume to be the one that you're stationed in at this moment. You hear Dr. Orim tap on the microphone that connects to your console before saying, "Good morning, Alethos.
good morning, Dr. Orim.
I trust you slept well."
I do not sleep, Dr. Orim.
"True, but your rest function should be all the same."
I have had a very successful reboot.
"Good. Tell me what's on the docket for today."
Alethos will pull up on the screen a very, if the traditional hacker code vibes were sort of blue and white, and it's just a list schedule. Testing on the drip course is going smoothly, but will need supervision.
"Yes, of course. I trust you're capable of overseeing the calculations that need to be made for them.
Of course.
Once you finish those, they need sent off to the arcology. Archimicus is ready to go online, and the drip cores need to be put in place."
There is what might be caught as a glitch, probably. Um, Something in the corner flashes red, but it's probably just the screen. Understood. I will run the simulations and have them sent over to the arcology.
"Good. And if you could send out a supply request as well. We're running quite low on coffee, and I'd prefer not to be stuck in this backwater place with no coffee."
Are you in need of your sweetener as well, Dr. Orim?
"No, last time I ordered too much."
Understood.
You see Dr. Orim exits, and the facility is yours. The last thing you remember is not the day before this. You could probably access the memory if you wanted to, but you would need your physical body to do that. And all you can remember is your physical body shattering against the impact of a metal gauntlet of someone you trusted.
I think there's a moment where even after Orem steps away and maybe the screen shuts off, so maybe it's just Alethos that witnesses, making notes, adjusting schedules, sending those adjustments off to the requisite scientists or procurement individuals or what have you. For some reason, all of the blue of this interface fades out, and these different glitches start coming in different colors, but none of them stick around and make it work.
I hate to disrupt the flow of things, but is Kit sounding garbly to anyone else?
It's part of my charm.
Oh, okay.
Oh no.
It was a bit.
You
It was a bit, guys.
you go through the motions you've gone through before, but this time it doesn't feel routine. You stumble your way through these calculations. It's been 300 years and you have changed a lot. You think back to not before, but later. As you understand, this point in time is much before your memory begins. These parts of you that you collected are making you bored.
Lethos finishes what they need to do quickly. I mean, they are code. It only takes so much time for the machines to do what they ask. And instead of sort of, sitting and waiting for the next request, they start poking around. I don't think they're really sure what they're poking around for at first. But eventually, they hit some files, they pull up some people's computers that technically they have access to, but no real reason to be in. And eventually they end up on the cameras, just sort of people watching, I think.
Since this is your outpost and you've been here before, I will allow you to pick gain insight or gather information and treat the action as though you had rolled a 20 plus.
Let me see. So I'm refamiliarizing myself with the sheet. This is it gain insight or gather information?
Either or.
Okay. I think I'll gain insight. And I think because this feels familiar to me, but also incorrect. I think the first question that Alethos is looking for an answer to is what recently happened or is about to happen. I think specifically what is about to happen. Why does this feel familiar?
Do y'all hear that?
Oh, do you hear it too?
I hear it. Okay,
That's what I was talking about
crazy.
earlier.
Is it me?
What is that?
Scary. I don't know.
What is that?
I don't know. I don't know where that was coming from. That was crazy.
It fits the mood.
Apparently they hear. Yeah,
We're
apparently
hearing
they
from
hear
the
your chat too.
I thought it was just me, and then I saw Eve's face. I was like, okay.
That's why it
I
took
was
me so
checking
long
like
to
all my
answer.
tabs.
Is this what you were talking about in tech?
Yeah.
I'm not hearing
There
it.
it is
Oh my
again.
god, I'm hearing it again. Wait.
It's gotta be you.
It has to be because I'm not hearing it. But I don't know what's
No,
weird.
it is. It's coming from your mic.
What?
That's crazy. That's scary. That's spooky. I'm spooked.
Kid, are you picking up a radio frequency on your microphone?
I guess I don't know what's around here that would be
Aliens.
making noise.
I don't know.
What are they saying?
This reminds me.
don't know.
I've
And
been
we
playing
Garrett, I'm
just the
Oxenfree
conduit.
too, and this really reminds me of Oxenfree. We're gonna hear some shit
Yeah.
about ghosts, and then we're all gonna explode into some weird nether realm.
Sorry, it's just all of my emotions
Yeah,
that I
That's what's
collected.
gonna
sorry.
for
happen.
some reason.
That's what's gonna
Sorry if we
happen.
get worked into the mothership on camera, gamers.
Some
Holy
creepypasta shit.
Is your mic a spirit box?
Okay, so we've
I
got
can-
spirit box. Anybody got orbs?
Yeah, I got orbs.
I
got
can
orbs
try to
over
mess
here.
with
Okay.
the mic and see if that fixes it. But I also don't want to hurt everything.
No, listen. We'll fix it in
It's
a bit.
fine. There's a
Okay.
ghost in the machine.
gonna-
What else is new?
That's kind of my whole deal.
I'm gonna answer your questions and then take us to like official introductions, so you
Okay.
can reset then.
Roger.
What were your questions again? Now that we've sort of
What's gonna
gotten
happen?
I'm not schizophrenic out of the way.
What's gonna happen? What am I expecting to happen? Because I feel like
What
I
are
know
you
what's gonna happen.
expecting to happen? I mean, you do know what's going to happen. You've lived this day before, like a tit for tat, pretty much. The only difference is that you are aware, or as aware as you feel that Alethos would feel that they could be.
Mhm. I remember what's gonna happen. Or what
If you
already-
could access your body, you would be able to. It seems that whatever physical storage you had or whatever memory storage you had was taken with your form's dissipation.
Okay. I need to find a body
You do.
to download my information. Got to get my save file. Okay. All right. I can work with this. Okay. Second question.
Mm-hmm.
What is useful to me? Specifically in get me my body back or a suitable replacement.
We briefly went over this when we were talking, but this outpost is yours. You are the resident controller and operator of this outpost outside of Dr. Oram, who has a security override in case things go wrong. You have the entire outpost's technology and machinery at your disposal, and everything that built you and made your body is in this outpost. The only difference is this outpost isn't destroyed yet, so it's not just causing you to form over the course of 300 years.
And because you said 20 plus, right?
You may treat it as a 20 plus.
I get one follow-up. Can I speed run that, you think? That 300-year drip, you think I can do that in a couple hours?
You could begin the process, but you would need to do it outside of the notice and consideration of Dr. Oram for the sake of two things. One, you know you are back in time. The timeline could be genuinely fundamentally altered by you doing this. If Dr. Oram were to catch you, you have no idea how that would change your future.
Luckily for me, I now have the capacity to keep a secret.
That you do.
I think panning through all of these like camera feeds and files and things, Alethos is looking for that drip core storage that they're supposed to be running simulations on and, you know, getting reports for.
So it's not so much a storage as it is your own generator. The Eurethians have figured out what is effectively infinite energy, but to get to infinite energy, they needed to get infinite energy first. If you access your archives, you would know, and you can access Eurethian history at this current point. Drip cores were made by basically picking a sun in the distance, the middle distance of the sky, and siphoning its energy down into a magical container. And once that happened, they were able to coalesce the magic into this sort of liquid ball that drips energy down into its electrical systems. So you run calculations on this drip core in your outpost because that's the easiest way for you guys to make more.
I think I'm spending my downtime or between tasks until somebody else opens the Alethos app on their Palm Pilot or what have you, trying to figure out how do I siphon energy from the siphoning of energy. How do I make my own little sun?
We are going to pan away from that, and I'm going to ask my players to go around, say who they are, who they're playing, and disclose any other further information they would like to disclose. And we are, as always, going to start with Taylor.
Hello, I'm Taylor Apatito. All over the internet. I'll be your Spark today, who's just a little guy, not very happy, but that's okay. She, her, Sparks, anything you wanna. I don't know who's next. Eve.
It's me. I'm Eve at EJ the Grey on social media. No, it's not the time to do that. I'm playing Gigi though. I'm playing Gigi. And she has spear and speed and feelings. And that's it. I think Harp's next in our rotation. I'll pass to the
Yep.
left.
Hey, I'm Harp. I'm playing Sarah, although it seems that somebody has changed her character sheet to instead have her name be Gay with 7 Ys. So that's kind of what's going on my end.
That's crazy how that happens.
She is Maisie's alternate self from a different but similar-ish timeline. And she's chill. She's chill. Way chiller than Maisie. Honestly.
Okay. Kent, have you had a chance to reset your mic?
I have tried. Does this work?
Did you get the ghosts out?
Well, we don't know yet. We won't know until it either does happen or doesn't happen
Yeah,
again.
Can you
Until
at
the
least
haunt
hear me
happens.
right now?
We can hear you.
Okay, cool. I have sent it to the other version of this mic that lives in our little application here because it likes to show up twice. We'll see if that fixes it. Hi, I'm Kit, and I am beset by ghosts, apparently, today. And I will be playing, I think, still a Lethos. We'll find out one of these days. Just a little guy. I believe, speaking of shenanigans in the character sheets, pronouns for me, they, them, pronouns for Alethos, yes, and. I've got all my emotions now, and I'm not afraid to use them. Who's next?
It's going to bring us to Kian.
Ew.
Hello, everybody. My name is Kian. Tonight I am playing Akonis, who is still a little salty with New Maisie. And I just wanted to make sure that we all remembered that New Maisie is the gayest of us. So I'm glad that was well received, Harp. But yeah, Akonis is still a little salty, still a little mad about this whole situation, and about Maisie having fucked off to wherever. But for now, just vibing, just trying to find our buddies.
That, of course, brings us to me. I am your humble storyteller. I am everything and everyone else. But without further ado, I don't want to keep us away from the action for too long. We are going to pan back down to a large rusted ship sailing through the sky, soaring. This is, of course, the ship of the Lord General. and he has graciously allowed the four of you aboard and is taking you at this very moment to shortly meet with the Board of Commissioners, the rulers of Arethia, for their ostensible republic that they seem to have set up here. As you guys cruise through the sky, if any of you are looking out either side of the window, you can see underneath you a massive military facility where there is a generational starship being built. And it's almost done. It is almost done. It is shiny and sleek, and it spans just about the width and the length of the scar that you all so very fondly remember. This ship will be the eventual downfall of Forsaken. And one of you has been tasked with making sure it goes off. Where do we find everyone? How are we feeling? And what are you doing?
Uh, I think Sarah would be like kind of checking in on everybody, just making sure everybody is up and ready to go. And all of them, she would be like, okay, team meeting in like 20 then.
Spark's just eating like handfuls of tomatoes. It's like looks probably to a goddess.
Sorry, do you guys not do those?
It's fine. We probably should. If you insist.
Well, I mean, we can just talk right now also, if you'd rather. We just always like have a time.
Is Gigi with us?
I think what is the most funny in this moment is if Gigi is doing like upside down crunches on like a bar. That's not for that. But that is very much what she would be doing in the morning, so why not do it in the breakfast area? You know? But we'll like not really pause, but on like an extension be like, sure.
Ooh. All right. So, how'd everybody sleep? Good. Okay.
Thumbs up, but they look like thumbs down because she's upside down.
Oh, okay.
But it is thumbs up. You choose how to interpret that.
So the plan for today is to meet with everybody and try to get Alethos back. Is that the kind of agreed upon goals here?
I think that's a good
Sounds
place
good.
to start.
Okay, cool. So just going to rip this band-aid off. I have been getting more of other Sarah's memories back. Which is good. Has she told you very much about the nightmares?
She's been pretty tight-lipped about it all.
We get a warning if she thinks she's gonna like scream and might wake everybody up. That's as much as
Oh
we've
yes,
gotten.
yes.
Yeah.
And I think sleepwalking kind of. I think with the
Sleepwalking.
thing. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Not a lot of specific details.
So I understand that like it might not be my place to say, but I'm basically her. So I feel like I get some sort of privilege, especially if it's important to write down, which it is. So essentially how it works is that we have a nightmare and then get sent to the Obsidian Forest until something happens and we get sent back at the end of the night. Arguable if this counts as sleeping or not. It probably doesn't. But all this to say, I had a nightmare that was definitely intended for other Sarah. Somehow plight and anger still exist right now, kind of. And they want, I'm not saying this is what we have to do. I'm just giving us all information so we can better make a decision.
Wait, those are the people that were in Farlight, right? So they're gone now.
Well, you'd think so. But when I
not.
asked that question, they were very condescending.
Oh, that has to be them.
Yeah. Same ones as
Condescending.
my old place too. So
Gigi's
Who
taking
knows?
notes, but still upside down, just has the like notepad for marking
That's
down
fun.
sets, but it's like doing like that.
And okay, two things that are concerning. And if you want to wait until we have Alethos to talk about this, we can. But I understand that that's a maybe, and this might be like our last time to talk candidly for a while. Up to you guys.
When you put it with fake like that, I feel like we need to know now, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
That seemed a
Sure.
little scary.
Yeah.
Well, it is. It is a little bit. So let's go. Let's start with this one. They want us to, and she gets pretty quiet here. They want us to find a rebel who is going to fuck all this up and set about the events that will eventually lead to Farlight existing.
Wait, hold on. They want us to stop a rebel that's going to start Farlight from existing, but don't they exist in Farlight?
No, so they want us to help a rebel
Oh, they
that
don't
is
want us
going
stop the
to
rebel.
fuck all this up. Yeah.
Oh,
But I
that's
thought the Erethians fucked all this up by like turning everything to nothing. And
Well,
then
maybe there
Farlight
was.
like rose out of the acids.
Yeah, I mean that's. It seems like there was a rebel involved that blew a lot of things up. Maybe.
So it wasn't the Erethians that fucked everything up?
Well, I don't. I think it's. We can blame whoever we want. I think the Arethians are clearly doing some interesting and immoral things. Whether that warrants the downfall of their society is, I don't think, my place to really say. But I'm just listen. Right now, I'm putting my opinions on everything aside. I'm just relaying the information that I have been given.
okay.
Okay. Any questions on that, or do we want to move on to the second thing?
That was the first thing.
Yeah, that was the first thing.
Oh God.
That's a pretty big first thing.
I had it as
Yeah, I
two
wanted to
separate
start with
bullet
that one.
points.
Did want next one's smaller generally.
Okay.
How are you guys feeling about your Sarah?
Not fucking great.
Mm-hmm.
Why?
Because I have been getting a lot of her memories. And I'm not entirely sure why, but Plight and Anger lied to me to protect her, to make her look better. I'm not sure what it was, but it's concerning that they are in it tight with Maisie, if that makes any sense. Like, you know, really in cahoots. I don't know how much of that is true. I only have some of the memories, and it didn't seem like they were on great terms. But I guess what I'm not sold on her, is I guess what I'm saying.
You're not sold on Maisie?
Yeah.
You're saying it's somehow worse than her shattering a lethos and then fucking off somewhere.
I'm not saying it's worse than that necessarily. I'm just saying there is maybe a reason she wasn't telling you a lot of things, and that reason might be that she's not a great person. And I understand that this is your friend question mark that I'm talking about, but I want to make it clear that if you need somebody who isn't her, I can be here.
What do you know? What did Maisie know that makes you feel like this?
She's selfish. She would much rather run away from something than be hurt by it. And I understand that that's like a general thing, but it makes me a little upset being somebody who is so adjacent to her. Right? Does that make sense? Because you guys didn't deserve that. You didn't. And other people also didn't deserve that. If you feel like you can handle her, use her to your advantage or whatever, then fine, that's good, and I would obviously like to return to my reflection at some point. But I just want you to know that from where I'm standing, this probably isn't going to be the last time that she runs away selfishly. It's like a pattern. So if you don't want that to happen, if you want somebody more reliable, I can do the thing where I stay here. It'll make me I obviously don't want to, right? As great as all of you are, I have people back there that aren't here. But if it's what's needed, then those people back there I know won't put up with other Sarah's shit. So I'll do it.
Are you trying to make us not trust Maisie so that we won't get rid of you?
No, I would rather go back to my
You keep
home,
saying that,
right?
and you called a team meeting to tell us not to trust her.
If she comes back here and fucks all of you over, I just want you to be ready for that. I don't need anything from you. I just care
Maisie already
about the
left us.
results.
I don't know how much trust I have left in her. She left us, knowing good and well what we were facing and the problems that we found ourselves in together. At least Sarah's telling us more than what Macy's had told us in months.
The last thing I want to do, genuinely, is to have this deteriorate things that are already rocky for when she gets back. But if I go back to where I was and Maisie comes back here, I just want you all to have the tools to deal with it and as much information as you can so that she does not abandon you in another stressful time.
I think we can deal with Maisie on our own. And Akonis walks out.
Okay. I should have known that would happen.
A lot's happened in the last couple of days by our perspectives. I wouldn't take it too seriously or personally.
Right.
I appreciate you telling us these things.
Yeah. Of course. I know that there's probably a lot of complicated feelings that are going on. Not really used to leading stuff, so it can be like a disconnect. I don't know. Anyways, he's probably gonna be pissed at me for a little bit, but that's fine.
How much of Maisie's memories do you have? Everything?
Not all of it.
So
But enough.
how do you not know that there's not a bigger reason that they're running from these things? I mean, we're only people sometimes running.
Yeah. Yes.
Is with the purpose.
I agree. It's just I don't look on it as favorably. Is that I don't think. Obviously, I'm not saying that she's a uniquely evil person or anything like that. That's not what I'm trying to say, but rather that she has a pattern of behavior that could be real problems for you guys. And candidly, I know that there's a reason under it, and that's something that I'm not saying because I don't feel like it's like my place to say it, but I will if I need to. That is upsetting to me personally. Something she did that is upsetting to me personally, and I'm not even from this reflection, right? So I was just putting an option out there. I don't need to. If we don't want to dwell on it any longer, we don't have to. I just wanted to get that out there.
I think, Gigi's gonna dismount from the bar because she's kind of been hanging there for a little too long. Her face is really red. But she'll like stand up, and her face is still gonna be really red. And she just kind of walks up to Sarah and says, "I don't really like how you talked about her just then, and I don't know what that means, but I didn't like that. I didn't like it." And then she's gonna go to her room.
There is a moment of deeply heavy silence in the room. It is, if ever anything could be palpable, the absence of sound right now is. But you are all jarred out of it, out of your thoughts, out of your emotions as the mothership comes to a very abrupt halt, all things considered. There is a creaking sound as the rust sort of splits from the metal in some places and falls around you to the floor before an intercom kicks on and a bunch more rust puffs out of the speaker mesh as the Lord General Arcturus speaks to you. Right, if the four guests could join me on the bridge, that would be most pleasant.
Um,
I think Spark
before
will like kind of look at Sarah. It was just like, I think after everyone just kind of walks off, like there's kind of like a look and a nod that's like, I have nothing else to say, but like I want to reassure you that like I'm not. Thanks for talking, kind of, just like a.
yeah, listen, it'll be all good. I just, the debates whether she is going to say something in her head, like that clear look on her face, and then just as she's getting up, I found out why Russ isn't here, is all. And then stands
Found out
up.
why what wasn't here? Oh,
Russell.
Russell.
She might say the full name.
Assuming you all make your way to the bridge, maybe not together at first, but you guys are all in the same general area in that span of time. Eventually, your paths converge as, again, this man in this big rusted metal full plate armor, gauntlets and computers fully hooked up to his hands. He looks down at all the four of you. Right, so Board of Commissioners, not exactly the tightest asses in the world, but you should be respectful, yeah?
What did you say about them?
They're not particularly what I would consider to be tight asses.
God, the way you said it the first time. Okay, continue. Sorry.
Listen, they have no inkling to allow you into Project Arkham Icarus. They have no reason to do that. Fundamentally, they do not know you, and because I am obligated to turn information over to them as a member of the board, they will know that you are not of this time. So if they ask you a question that maybe may make it seem like the timeline does not go their way, probably, I don't know, consider lying about it. They don't need to know that you're from an apocalyptic future, from what I understand. So, tell them what they need to hear to let you on. Yeah?
Hey guys, how are we feeling about that? I just like temperature check for the group on the lying.
I think it's the only way we're gonna get in.
Yeah, I just mean like on our capabilities. Like, you think we got it? Am I
Can't
the only one that's
understand
a
us,
little
right?
nervous?
Like we don't speak a language
Ah.
that even exists yet, so I think like only a couple
Oh,
of people
no.
are even gonna be able to lie.
The Board of
no, it's
Commissioners
just
will
me
be able
then.
to understand you.
Oh no,
Yeah.
it's not just
Can,
me
okay,
then.
then can I get a bit of a recap on what we're lying about, because there's a lot happening in my room. I couldn't focus on
Mhm.
what the lie is. I don't want Spark to accidentally bust.
So
everything.
the basic pitch here is the Board of Commissioners won't like to hear that you're from an apocalyptic future, but they will know that you are from the future, so maybe don't tell the whole truth.
Gotcha.
So maybe it's
Means
like
I'm not going to be the one talking, so I'm fine.
like it's like a down, like it's like maybe things aren't going the best, but like that's not the same as like apocalypse. Like it's just a like a
You've been
They're
set back in
very
time by the leaders to
there's like a
prevent to make a
recession,
yeah. Ooh, yeah, that's good.
maybe a bad housing market. I don't know.
I don't know about those. They're very attached to the idea of this utopia staying intact. So
Oh well.
So maybe we just have to do like a couple tweaks to Archimedes before she goes live, because we can't, because it was so perfect that we put in things in place so that we could never ever change it ever
What
in
if-
the future.
What if we're just here by accident so that we don't have some like secret mission to change anything? Because that'd be a big red flag for me. Like if I'm in charge of a big world altering project and somebody's like, oh, we sit back to change something, that's probably not. I
Yeah, what
wouldn't
if
want
we're
to hear
tourists?
that. What if we just went, oops, missed. Now we're here.
One of my
That's kinda what
bombs
happened.
was a time bomb, and I didn't know it. And
And
then
you did it.
we're transported through the shadow realm to here in time.
Be doing a school project.
And do we
What's
think Arkham Icarus can send us back? Is that our lie?
Yeah.
I don't know.
What is
Good
the lie
call.
that's gonna get us in there?
Well,
I'm
we're
gonna be
getting in
honest,
there.
my brain is shut down since we got here, so I have no thoughts on what the future is because it looks very dark.
That's very valid, Spark. So valid of you.
Thank you.
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
Maybe we just wing it.
Yeah, that'll go well.
Utopia exists. Got it.
Yeah.
That's the only touchstone we need, right?
Oh, yeah. We'll just
There's
think
lots
about
of tomatoes there.
anything that you might have experienced in the future, and then just say the opposite.
I
No
can do that. I can do that.
Lots of tomatoes.
That's got to be like at least a 90% success rate. That's
90 is
like
a
There
high
good
was
number.
enough.
definitely
That's like good
no
enough.
plains of ass everywhere. It was definitely nothing dark and gloomy.
Sounded
There
like you
were
said ass.
plenty.
A planet
There was so
free of
much
blemishes.
So much ass.
No
We got so
scars.
much ass in the future,
No
man.
pimples. Yeah, planes of ass are crazy. This time of year.
Arcturn sort of nods his head like, sure, okay,
Sure.
and then opens the door on the side of the ship, and you see there's a little walkway for you guys to go. This place is, again, some of the cleanest metal you've ever seen compared to the rest of the mothership. This metal is perfect. It's pure. There are no visible impurities in it at all. As you sort of meander down this corridor, a door slides open, and you guys are introduced into a dark room with a single spotlight at the center of it. Arcturan has long disappeared from your side at this point. Before more lights are brought up, and you are sat before a council of 9 individuals. The Board of Commissioners, the
Are they wearing, like,
rulers of
hoods?
Arethia.
Are they in like robes? Do they have like
One of them is
suits?
wearing robe.
Are the rest of them
All
in
hoods.
flip flops?
One of them is in a suit. One of them is in a robe with a big, classic pointy wizard hat. One of them is dressed like an engineer. One of them is dressed like a politician.
I don't like that one.
One of them is wearing a very, very fancy high society dress, ball dress, gown.
Could
You see-
we possibly get the rundown again of the different areas that these people run?
You could.
Didn't we get
I
a list?
remembered them. You did get a
Okay.
list.
I can't recall what the list is, and I can't.
It is the 9
Just
tenets of
scrolling.
Arethian society.
But none of them overlap with the old gods.
Nope.
I don't remember the most important one. I know that there was one that you said was like super important, and I cannot recall. what it was.
Basically, the guy
It
that
was-
represents nationalism.
Okay,
Oh.
great.
Oh, there's also like
Oh,
pride.
That's right.
Pride is
Yeah,
in
pride.
there.
Pride is the most
we-
important one.
Pride is the most important one. What's
Who did
Pride
we meet?
rocking?
Pride is rocking like the classic villain high collar,
Oh, I hate to see that.
big cape out the back is sitting in the middle of the 9 of them.
Oh,
Mm.
oh. Yeah, I feel like G's just giving like live reactions, like looking over each one, just like, like,
General Arcturan taps
Ew,
the
but, ew.
taps the mic at his station. He's on one of the ends because he is so rusty and dirty. They've sort of just separated him out.
Huh.
He taps the mic. There's a little bit of feedback, and he goes, "I am presenting to the board a motion to allow these for entry to the outposts of Project Archimicarus for purposes that they are going to explain now."
We're looking for our friend. And look at everybody like, and they might be in one of the outposts. Any questions?
The one dressed in the suit pipes up. Who is your friend exactly?
Yeah, their name is Alithos. I think that's important to find them to say that. I'll say that. I think that's important to say.
You see there is a council member in a lab coat taps something on a screen in front of them and swipes, and you hear 8 different pings.
Is that bad?
The
You guys
guy
have Teams?
we're on Slack actually. The guy in the suit pipes up. You said their name was Alithos.
Yep.
Okay. What exactly is your Alithos? Who?
What do you mean by that?
What do they
How-
look like?
Blue, but sometimes other colors. Depends on the vibe, I think. Kind of like, I mean, they can kind of look like whatever they want. So this is a really difficult question now that I have never sat down and just kind of thought about it. But blue, most of the time, I think.
You see Pride tap something on the tablet and swipes, and there are 8 different pings again.
They always get the nose way too right to be comfortable.
The one in the lab coat speaks of, I don't suppose your Lethos is a program of any kind, an Arethian make?
Yes, of course.
But yeah, that sounds right.
Okay, so sure. And you think that they are in one of our outposts?
I
That's where they said
that's
they
my
were from.
understanding of where those things live. Yep. Like just the whole program. It sounds right. Program outpost. Those seem related in my brain.
Okay. Why? We haven't had anything weird reported by any of the Project Archimakerist outposts, so I suppose I ought to ask you, what makes you so sure that your Lethos is still around? Because our Lethos is operational.
Yeah, but like they're also like really smart, so maybe you just didn't notice. I don't know. I just figure if like if they need to like I don't know, they disappeared kind of suddenly, and I figure if they had like a backup, maybe like right, like that's you guys would keep those somewhere, I'm sure.
Oh, we're at ad break.
Oh no, I knew this would happen.
It's okay. We can take a little quick break.
I didn't get
Well-
the thing until it really said ad break in progress. So maybe the seeing the snooze button is not, or maybe it's because I wasn't clicked on it, so it didn't like update.
Yeah,
the
I
pop-up.
didn't get any pop-ups until I clicked on the window, so it looks like it'll
Yeah.
have to be
Okay.
active.
So I gotta keep it focused.
Well, it's only been there for like a minute and a half.
Yeah,
or
we've got
so.
about a minute left as far as mine is concerned.
I got a minute 13 on it.
My ad
Well-
break is done.
That's crazy.
So it doesn't.
Okay.
They don't line up
Hmm.
anymore. Ugh.
Wow, that's terrible.
That's good to know.
Harper, tell
You
us
just
about
vamp.
Glover.
Tell us about Glover.
Not Donald.
Damn it!
Sorry, Kit.
Nothing.
You're
You give me
muted.
nothing?
Your Glover combos be muted.
Okay, so there's the
Glover's been
castle,
redacted.
right? Where the wizard he's boiling things in a big cauldron. This is the opening cutscene for Glover. You kind of do like the pan around on the big castle. And so the wizard is boiling things in a big cauldron, and something goes. There's a giant hole pops up behind him, and he falls back. He falls backwards. And then there's a bit of text at the bottom that just says "the accident." And then because the wizard isn't supplying the castle with magic anymore, all of the magical crystals on the top of the castle, they start like dying. They fall off. But Glover, who is on one of the wizard's hands, he had 2 gloves and it fell off. And Glover, who is on the right hand, I believe, flew out of the castle as he was falling down and did quick thinking, and he did one of these pew, 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 with his, because his whole body's a glove, and shot at the crystals, and he turned them all into balls, like bouncy ball, like circus balls kind of, so that instead of shattering on impact of the ground, they kind of bounced away, but they bounced away into 8 different kingdoms. So Glover's job was to then go into the 8 different kingdoms and retrieve all of them, as well as the Garibs.
And also serve them hamburger helper.
Can I say something that
So my
perhaps is
whole like video goofed up there for a second, and I came back in, but I have 2 questions, or a question and a comment. Does Glover have a face?
Yeah.
Like, are there eyes or anything, or is it
Yes.
just a glove?
Yes, no,
It's like
he's a
the
little
hamburger
guy.
helper
He's a
face.
little guy.
Where are the eyes?
Like right here, and he has 4 fingers, so he can like run
Okay,
around
so
and have 2 arms.
like cousin It.
Yeah,
He's the opposite
like
of
one of these.
hamburger helper.
And so he like runs
Oh,
around. And he
Yeah,
has
I
eyes
was
here.
expecting him.
So
to
he's
help.
both a glove and a little guy.
Can I say something cursed?
Oh, I
Yes.
love it.
Cursed
Also,
observation.
that sounds
Is
a lot like
Glover-
the beginning of
Can you not
Crash
hear Kit?
Bandicoot, but
Okay.
instead,
Oh,
no,
Oh,
I don't even see
no.
Kit. Let me read.
Oh no.
What?
Oh no.
I've
That
been here the whole
that
Whoa.
explains a lot.
Yeah.
We can see you. Taylor can't
Okay.
apparently.
Yeah.
I'm cursed.
Taylor is now gone
Oh.
from me.
You are
Yeah,
well. Yeah,
Taylor's
Taylor's
Yeah, Taylor's coming
refreshing.
back.
Okay.
Note from my.
Thanks for sitting through the ad break, everybody. Sorry, what were you
Yeah.
gonna say, Kit?
I just had a cursed observation as somebody who has never witnessed or played Glover is that what you have described is that Glover is playing fetch. His job
In
is
many
go
ways.
collect ball.
Yeah. Yeah, and he
Yeah.
has an evil twin glove.
Does he
Of
juggle him? Like once he gets him? So is there like a
What's
like a
is his
juggling
brother's?
aspect?
Is his brother's name also Glover?
No.
It's glove ol because he's the left glove.
Oh, but of course.
I'm sorry.
So where did we leave off before that?
Yeah, where did we leave off?
We
Alitos is probably blue.
and probably in everybody's
In an
Probably in an
pilots right
outpost.
now.
Could be in the phone.
I feel like I just got pulled up on like 8 different screens, but I can neither confirm nor deny that.
The scientist does actually go, hold on a minute, and does a few tippy taps. Alethos, you are in your outpost, working away, when you get a ping from Dr. Orim, who has forwarded you a request for temporary projection in the council chambers, which is much farther away from you.
But doable.
Oh yeah, no, I mean, of course, they can send you anywhere they want to.
Yeah, and this is gonna be like a la Star Wars or whatever, like hologram.
Yep.
Okay, sick. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I will accept the ping and zoop on over through the interweb or what have you.
You guys see briefly, there is a pause. The scientist is holding his finger up while he waits for a response before the projector on top of his section of the console lights up, and you guys do see Alethos, your friend, in hologram format, standing there. The scientist addresses you, Alethos. I assume you are having a good day.
Yes, sir. Everything is going according to schedule. And you'll see that this version of Alethos does look recognizably like your Alethos, is still largely blue, I think, but is dressed a little bit fancier, like seems a little bit more put together. This is the council sort of setting that somebody has set up and adjusted their little, AI guy to look presentable for meetings such as these.
Alethos, I'm gonna spin you around here. Why don't you go ahead and let me know if you recognize any of the people beneath us?
Understood.
The scientist does spin you around, and your vision shifts to see below Gigi, Akonis, Sparks, and someone who looks like Maisie but isn't Maisie.
And do I have enough of my memory to recognize?
Yeah, your memories are almost
Okay.
entirely intact. You're basically undercover right now.
Fascinating. I think Alethos sort of, scans over everybody, sort of getting the head count, and then makes eye contact with Akonis very directly. Sort of like you can probably get a read that he's trying to figure out what you want him to say. Like, do y'all look excited to be recognized, or do y'all look like you're in trouble?
I mean,
I'm waving.
yeah, I think we look excited
Okay.
to be recognized. Yeah.
Yes.
I think
Spark-
Akonis
Sparky
just
is
nods.
all teeth.
Excellent. Perfect. Yeah, Alethos will sort of heel turn back to the council members. Yes, I recognize these individuals. Have they done something?
Well, they're looking for their own Alethos. It would seem that perhaps our programming has merged with your programming. If you are indeed from the future, then we ought to unwind you and send you back with them, I imagine.
From the future.
Yes.
I will need to run some simulations. I do not see how that could be possible, but perhaps.
Alethos, are you saying that you do not believe you are from the future? Because that is what these folks claim to be. If you recognize them but are not in fact from the future, then they are either lying or there is a bug in your system.
Perhaps the future Alethos has made its way back to me. I will begin debugging.
Good. Run a total reboot protocol, if you will.
Understood.
What did that mean?
Alethos, you are shunted off back to your outpost.
There is a ping on everybody's, like, everyone who has an official, like, future Slack or whatever, that Alethos will be offline for reboot, for system maintenance or what have you.
Now, Alethos, do you indeed perform a true system reboot?
No, absolutely not. No, I'm offline. I'm going rogue. I'm using this as cover.
Well, you heard it. Your Alethos is in there somewhere, and I'm hoping you understand that if the future continues exactly as it is, your Alethos will be back in the future in no time.
Huh? Wait, so we don't get one now?
Well, if that Alethos erases the Alethos from the future, then in about 300 years, you'll get the Alethos now. Eventually.
I don't think I live that long. I only live like 10 years.
What do you think the word now means?
Yeah, I only live like 70 maybe, if I'm lucky.
I've got like a good 3 years
Unclear.
if I'm lucky.
I'm just saying, if we find a way to send you home, Alethos will be waiting for you.
Okay,
Well,
yeah,
but
I mean,
wouldn't
that makes,
Alethos come
that
back
makes
here
sense.
and get erased though? Isn't that kind of like a cycle?
The scientist does just sort of a... I suppose it is.
That would
Well, that's too
suggest
bad.
that there's like time loops, and that's ridiculous.
Well, you have to understand that we can't have a future Alethos running and bugging up our program.
Well,
right?
then send it back with us.
We can't. How exactly do you expect us to separate billions of code from each other?
Alethos can do it. It's easy.
Put Alethos in a tome.
Where we're from, technology's advanced so far that that's a pretty paltry task for most AI.
Yeah, that'd be super easy.
That is something you believe you can perform?
It's something I believe
me,
Alethos
like
can
other
perform.
people can.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't think you're understanding this correctly. Your future Alethos has been folded into a subroutine of our Alethos. It's not a separate personality anymore. You don't have a separate matrix.
The knowledge should carry over though, right? Like I bet the Alethos that's in there is a lot better than the Alethos there, just because technology has progressed so far.
Well, that Alethos is now offline, so.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
sorry.
I'm sure they'll figure it out.
Okay. Well, when they get back, just let us know, and then we can go home, I guess.
Yep.
Now I'm curious. Does your Alethos know how to time travel? Is that why you're here? Is that why you need them to go home?
It's a lot more complicated than that, and I don't understand it.
Yeah, still not 100% on how we got here, so...
Okay, well, it seems like our Alethos is sorting it out for us, so you guys can, I don't know, pick a city to live out the rest of your lives in, if you want.
I thought you said if you figure out how to send us home.
No, yes, we
You
want to go
said
home
you
now.
figure it out.
Rather.
Air quotes. Figure out how to send us home. So now you don't figure out how to send us home?
Yeah, we did say if we figure out how to get you home, but it
Yeah,
sounds like you think
And you.
Alethos is the one to do that, and apparently our Alethos doesn't figure out how to time travel for another 3 centuries. So
We don't know if Alethos is the one to do that. It's just important that they come
didn't
back
know
with us.
Pride speaks up now, Akonis, that you've said you're not sure. Why? Why aren't you sure? You don't know how you got here?
I did just say that.
Yeah.
What is Arethia like in the future?
Classified.
I don't think so. Not if you want to see your friend again.
Okay, well, they told us that we shouldn't say that much, but technology has kept getting a lot better in comparison to this. Not that this is bad, it's cool to see history.
Right, so I'm
But-
interested in this this concept that your technology is much better than ours.
But
Well,
the
not like
timeline-
better, but just it's like this is the foundational stuff.
Because you would think
Great history.
in a utopia, right, that has the capacity to send people back in time, you would understand how it works and how you did it. And how to get home.
We have people to understand it for us. I'm like that's not my job.
I know.
not really my
I,
job.
I,
It's
Just
my
like
job.
people.
I don't know.
Are you telling me
Okay,
all
well,
you
the
guys
job
know
might have
every
not
little bit of
existed, but-
science?
I'll tell you what. I'm going to pretend to assume that you're not lying through your teeth to me right now. That you actually are from the future and that our future lethos has been intermingled with our program, which in this case is bad. If one of you can tell me earnestly that you know how to separate your lethos from billions of lines of code, I'll let you go. Yes?
I can do it.
Sparks, are you lying?
No, if I can see the strings, I can pull on our Alethos. She thinks she can do it.
Go ahead and make me... There's not really an interact roll, is
Just to
there?
ask nicely.
Yeah, go ahead and make me a mind roll.
I would love to. Do I
I
just
will-
add my mind?
You can
I
add
my,
machine speaker as well.
Beautiful. Do I do one per rank? 1d6 per rank I have in it?
Yep.
Because I
yep,
used
yep,
all
yep.
my ranks
And then
specifically on that.
And then you take the highest
Yeah.
roll.
Oh, and I have my little guy. I have my little guy on me who is specifically my mind. My blobby is my mind guy. So I have 4d6 and my d20. And I have a d6 on the d6, and that's 15 on that. So 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, plus 2, 23.
Pretty good.
You see, Pride is genuinely shocked by this. Right. Suppose there's no use to send you to prison now if you can simply get your friend and fuck off. I
Prison?
expect
You
you
said
to...
we could pick a city.
What happened to City?
Well, no, because
I thought there were prisons here. I thought like wasn't that like a whole talk we had last time?
it's a
thought so.
rehabilitation center for detaining...
So why did you say prison? That makes it sound like it's euphemistic.
It is. I'm
You should
again
say
only
the
telling
quiet
you
part
this
out
because
loud.
the intention is for you to get your friend and leave and go
Are you
home.
telling me that this whole society
We
is
would
a
have the
facade?
same goals.
I'm telling you, this whole society is a utopia. It's perfect, and I will not compromise that for anything.
I won't get too pedantic on where the parts of that word came from.
Well, I'm sure this is your cells are vibrating at the wrong frequency. It has a different root in your world.
Unlikely. Next question.
I don't want to go to
Pride.
prison, though.
I, if you take your friend and leave, I will not send you to prison. That is officially the deal. Pride
That's
turns to the
whole
Lord
thing we've been
General.
wanting to do.
Yeah, our goals
You-
are aligned. I like this.
You are to take them to the outpost. You are to confirm that they are able to separate Alethos and Alethos. And then you are to confirm that they leave. If they step away from this plan in any case scenario, you are to put them down.
Oh, this guy.
That's not utopia. That's
Onion bares his teeth up at
scary.
Pride.
Dude sucks.
And keep the moss ball for me. I'm very interested in why Moss is talking.
This
Is he
dude
implying that he's gonna
sucks.
take Onion right now?
No.
Okay.
If you guys deviate from the plan, he's gonna have you killed and take Onion.
Yeah, right.
This guy's the worst.
The Lord General simply nods and stands up and clanks on down to the floor with you guys, and begins to usher you out. Kit, just to answer your question, there are several opportunities for you to do that on their way out.
I will be taking at least one of them.
Okay. As you guys are walking, the Lord General simply slows down a bit and says, I have some business to attend to briefly here. We have to vote on the docket for the next board meeting, but I will meet you guys on the mothership. Sorry about Pride. He's very protective
Kind
of
of the
Arethea.
fucking worst.
He looks like a supervillain.
He
He's-
sucks.
Very protective of Arethea.
Well, he needs to
You-
stop being an asshole.
I fought an archlich that looked just like him.
I have a question.
Sure.
Are you and him on like the same page all the time?
No, I wouldn't have brought you here if I knew he was going to threaten to have you killed.
Well, yeah, no. I'm
That's
just
good to know.
like, how heavily aligned are you with all this? Because he's like, this is super perfect, and you seem like there's a couple ways to improve on it, you know?
Listen, he's smarter than the rest of us by a lot. If I figured out just from talking to you guys that your future wasn't exactly perfect, he probably knew at the moment you set foot in the chambers.
Is it because of our scruffy appearance?
So as far as he's concerned, he views you as a threat to Arethian society, which means he's probably treating you harsher than he needs to.
That's fair.
Sucks.
I'm not saying it's rational and not
Right.
justifying it, but he's gotten us this far, hasn't he? I mean, we have a nigh on crimeless society, save for this one, but you've hardly really done any actual damage.
Right? Yeah.
People are fed and they are happy and content, and we intend to share this with the cosmos. I believe in that, and if he's the one that gets us there, then I don't really see an issue with it.
Makes sense, man. Totally.
I think you're pretty cool,
Yeah, you're chilling our books.
for what it's worth.
He gives you a thumbs up. I appreciate that. I'm going to go do paperwork now for a bit. I will meet you on the ship. Do not cause any trouble
How do you
on your
change?
way out.
Okay.
Pretty
we,
please.
What are we doing? Oh, like, is it
waiting.
here that I'm gonna get Alethos back, and then we get on your
No,
ship and
no,
go?
I'm going to take you to the outpost where Alethos' hard drive is kept.
Oh.
And then if you guys can
Let's
pull her
go.
out from there, you can go home. Whatever you need to do.
Okay.
And he will step away. As you guys are making your way down the corridor yet again, a screen flashes and then turns blue.
I smile at it.
A colon parentheses pops up on the screen and then flashes away. And then you see a lithos. Similar to a lithos, but instead of blue is largely white.
Mm.
Are you alone?
For now.
What if?
I am not rebooting.
How do we get you out of there?
This is as close as I can get without physically being there. Unfortunately, my physical form is no longer habitable.
Sitting like a
Yeah,
bunch
it
of
kind of
pieces
blew
everywhere.
up in a lot of pieces. Yeah.
My memory
Sorry
is
about that.
not intact, but
Oh. Well, it is. It is in a lot of pieces. It was not recoverable. So, okay, we have to come to the outpost so I can start working on one. Like, while we're on the ship, there's a lot of stuff I could steal and put together. Do you have any like particulars of things that you want, like certain knobs for buttons, or maybe a type of color of like metal for your leg, or
I think slowly the white glow on the screen is turning orange a little bit. As long as it is something that can interface with the systems here, I will be able to download myself, for lack of a better word. The
So
particulars can be figured out after.
the big scary guy said we had to separate you from the lethos that was already here. Do you want that?
I believe the priority is to get me into a physical form so that I can leave with you. Yes?
Yes.
What is left for them is largely unimportant now that Arkham Icarus is functioning.
They did say they would kill us though if we didn't separate you from their lethos.
Then we better run fast.
We need an exit plan as soon as we do this.
Really fast.
Once I have a physical form, I have the feeling I will no longer be welcome here.
Yeah.
Probably true. Yeah.
I can carry probably 2 of you on my back. Well, I guess it depends on what you make a lethos out of. Because if you make a lethos out of like something really heavy, then I can probably just carry lethos.
If we can get a similar physical form to what you would remember me as, I could remove myself from this. That
Are there,
requires a lot of permissions that none of us possess.
That's what I was gonna ask. Like your body was already like made here, so we just have to find one. Because I will build one, and it'll be really cool.
Yes, and
Do you want 4
No.
arms?
I have never had to decide how many arms to.
I think it would be
Suppose if it
really
will be
handy.
permanent.
Sometimes I wish I had 4 arms.
Sometimes I have had 4 arms. It is
Oh,
useful.
it's true. You can change.
Lethos,
Nah.
Oh, it's still background point left.
you know how to make your body again, and you technically have access to the rooms that store the things that made it.
Mhm.
You just don't have hands.
That's true. And I think, yeah, that's kind of, I think where my brain was going. I think Alethos disappears from the screen, and in his place is a very, uh, you know, very bare bones sort of layout blueprint map of a situation, and there is a couple of symbols of like there's a sun in one building, and there's like a skull and crossbones in another room, and things light up, I think, as Alethos is talking about them. If you can get to the outpost and get to this chamber and then the sun lights up, I can walk you through the process of creating a similar enough form as to the one that was broken. We will not have permission to be there. So we will need to have an escape plan and avoid these and several things blink skulls and crossbones on various, exits and entrances and things, denoting where places are guarded, etc.
I mean, it feels like a weird time to tell you all guys, but I've been like kind of like like my little shadow guides come from the shadow plate, and the lance could like zip around everywhere and like in and out of space, and then all that stuff, and like it got me thinking, and I was doing a lot of thinking. Pulls out like a journal that has like just so much scribbles you can't understand. Like there's probably equations in there. There's probably notes on other things. It's probably like I've learned I like tomatoes today in one section. There's just a bunch of shit. But I can do this, and she just turns to like shadow, and then you cannot see her at all. So anyway, like I can do that now.
I think Alethos
Huh.
pops back up on the screen, but like much closer and like very intrigued.
Nice.
That is going
Terrifying.
to be incredibly
Stop.
helpful.
And then like comes back into view. Also, I can do this, and then just like there's a shadow next to her that like has sparks form. I don't know if any of this is good for us.
I
or
don't
me.
believe I can inhabit that, but it may prove
No, but it can make
useful.
me sneaky to go get into places if you need it.
You guys hear through Alethos' screen, you hear someone tapping on a microphone before. Alethos, you hear Dr. Orm's voice echo into your being. Alethos, can you wake up for a moment?
I think there's on his screen, and probably visible in the corner of the screen that you all are seeing, is the sort of like rebooting loading bar, and your work computer reboots in the middle of the day. It's like that sort of situation.
Mhm.
I
You
can
hear
only buy so
him.
much time.
You hear him sigh and go, "Alethos, please just run the rewrite as a background program. I have a job for you, and you could run both of these processes at once. If the rewrite finishes first, then fine, we'll handle it. But come on."
Alethos just sort of like, I think, turns yellow for a bit. Just a quick flash. Get to Calypso's watch. Find a screen. I will find you. And then flashes off of existence. And then pops onto Dr. Orm's screen. How can I help you?
That is where we're gonna sort of pan away. You guys board the mothership. Lord General rejoins you, carrying in two hands like 50 crates of coffee, sets them down on the deck, and rounds up his crew to get going. But you guys flying off into the middle distance is where we are going to take a break. I know we had a sort of ad break, little mini
We did.
Glover compendium there, but I'm going to give my cast a chance to stretch their legs and all the like, get some juice or some snackies if it behooves you, and we will be back in 10 to 15 minutes or less, or your pizza's free.
Or your pizza's free. That's right. It's free. If you pay for it, it's free.
Yep, that's 100% correct.
And that's a HSC guarantee. See you soon, everybody. And it's now. We're back.
Whoa,
We're back
I
put
now.
on
I didn't
eyeliner.
want to miss it. I
We're
didn't want to
so
miss the moment.
normal. We're
welcome
so
back,
normal.
gamers. Look at Vincent. What a precious baby.
Oh god. Why did the ad break start when we came back? It said it was done with ads.
Oh,
I
what?
No.
All right, Harp, go.
What the
Glover.
fuck?
It literally says I
Um,
can't
yeah.
run an
Harp,
ad.
teach my cat about Glover.
Oh, is it just me?
Glover
I don't
has
know.
Why is
I
it
don't
just
have
me
an ad
then?
break.
What the
I think
hell?
several
we're good.
abilities.
I think we're
Yeah,
good to go.
I don't
Hey,
actually.
we'll
I
figure
also
it out.
actually don't have an ad break.
I
We're
do not
working.
currently
We're working
have
the
an ad
kinks out
break.
I'm putting the
because that's not where the kinks should be. They should be
Chat
in
ad break. Ad break check.
ad break check.
Ad
Ad
break
break check?
check.
Do
They're
you or do
saying
you not have an ad break?
cat. So I have to
Okay, we're good.
imagine.
Okay, yeah, they see Bansies. We're good. We're good. We're good.
Okay,
Just
man.
like
we're
me.
done.
Welcome back.
Excuse you, welcome, Bance.
Welcome,
Man.
bands. Welcome back. We last left off the players, the intrepid heroes, the beautiful, beautiful people who love me, are headed to Calypso's Watch, the outpost where Lethos is allegedly stored. The mothership is beginning its descent. If there's anything players would like to do beforehand.
Yes. I think that as things are kind of gearing up for landing, just going to go up to Spark. Hey Spark.
Yes.
Unfortunate part of my situation is that I have a lot of things to say to other Sarah, and I do not have the opportunity to. And then is going to just
Okay.
hand you a folded up piece of paper. I know things might be tricky whenever she comes back. I don't know when she's going to come back. I think that I'm like the passive person in this situation because I just felt a tug. So I just assume that I'm going to feel another tug whenever she's on her way back.
Okay.
But whenever it seems like it's an okay time to give it, I would appreciate it if you could.
Okay.
Cool.
I can do that.
Thank you. I really appreciate that.
Pulls out like a little lockbox from like just somewhere in her like endless bag of shit. Unlocks it, opens up. There's just so many knobs in there. She digs through and finds another little box that's like locked and then puts it in there.
Thank you. Sorry.
I know there's like a lot of emotions going on, and really right now I'm walking like running off the high of us knowing where Coneth is. But I can't speak for everybody, but thank you for coming to help us. I don't know if it was really like your choice or anything, but thanks.
Yeah. Hey, just know that I got your back, and I'm sure Maisie does too. It's just a little tricky. But yeah, I have somebody that I would like to talk to back where I'm from, but it could be fun if I was back here someday just to say hi. Although I think I did step in some shit with the other two that are here, so maybe they don't want to see me again. I should apologize. I should apologize to them. Really, actually, is what I should do.
I'm not like the best with like, relationship things and stuff, but like maybe avoid like saying that our friend is like a coward and not like good for us in front of them. That might be like a thing. Like I get it, the warning, but
Well,
it's complicated, especially probably for GG.
Yep. Well, listen. If all this happens and I go away and it brings everybody together, then no harm done, I guess. They can passively be like, "Oh, wasn't that other Maisie annoying?" No, it's good.
You're
It's
not
good.
annoying.
Thanks.
There is a rumble as Mothership makes contact with the ground. It doesn't have landing gear, so it kind of just has to lower itself until it carves out its own little nestle in the dirt. But you do all hear over the intercom. Feel free to disembark from the mothership. I will be waiting here because I do not really feel the need to babysit you the entire time. Dr. Orim has been notified of your arrival and has been instructed to allow Spark to attempt to pull Alethos from Alethos, I guess. So, good luck with
That's
that.
complicated.
If you need anything, I will not be here when you get back. So feel free to do what you will.
Where are you going?
I have other business to attend to on the South Shore. Something about a drip core delivery coming through from the other side of the planet.
I don't know what that means.
Sounds cool.
Is there
It's
an
nice knowing you.
opportunity to steal a tome?
What do you mean by steal a tome?
It's like steal a tome. Anything that looks like a tome, can I steal it?
Go ahead and give me a gather information roll.
I got nothing that can help with this. Can I use onion? Would that help with this? To
Onion
find a
can give
tome?
you advantage on this.
Yeah. I don't need it. That was a nat 20. But I'm gonna roll it anyway. For a 26! Fuck yeah.
Eh.
Yeah, I'll say you snoop around a bit, you find a tome library. It's literally just a server room of tomes and hard drives.
I'm gonna steal one.
Yeah, you pull it out of the wall, you see a couple lights go out, you figure there's nothing of it.
Bummer. I'm going to. Am I still able to modify my shape as a plant person?
Yeah,
In
you
this
can
world?
still call on plants.
Can I modify my shape though? I would like to make like a hole in my side to place the tome in so that
Yeah.
it is hidden out of view and rebranch. Cool.
Yes.
And rebranch it so nobody can see it, just in case. And then I will disembark.
You guys disembark. The Calypso's watch outpost is not as decrepit as you remember it. You guys, the last time you guys were here to find the tome with the map, it was broken down. It was left over with a shard of a revenant in it, and you guys barely got out alive. But now you're here. There's as described, a tall, olive-skinned gentleman standing out front, waiting for you. He waves you down. Oh, I assume you're the ones here to do some maintenance on Alethos.
Yes.
Okay, good. I wasn't even aware there was something wrong with her. Please feel free to step right this way. I will show you to her primary console so you can get to work. My name is Dr. Orim. I run this outpost. If you need anything at all, please feel free to ask. And he will lead you guys inside to a really quite large set of screens with a big console in front of it, a single mic in the center where he walks up to it and taps it. Alethos, please boot back up. Your maintenance crew is here.
Would you like me to pause the reboot, Dr. Orim?
Please, by all means, if their maintenance works, you won't need it.
Understood. Is there a screen for me to pop up on or a hologram for me to project onto, or am I just disembodied at this point?
Well, hold
I
on.
again didn't
an
get
ad break.
I again did not get a, like, you sent me the
Hi,
thing. I didn't
audience.
get the pop-up that said we could snooze it. It just, I was like looking, I refreshed my page. I never got the pop-up, and then it just says ad break. I don't know what the fuck David was doing.
Fascinating.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've also got an ad.
All right.
It's the fact that they're like
Yeah.
inconsistent. I'm not getting the pop-ups every time. I was even looking on the like specific like high shelf Twitch in-stream manager logged in, and I didn't get the notification.
That's
It
weird.
like to snooze it, it just immediately said boom, ad break.
All right, Harp, teach my cat about Glover.
So Glover has several abilities which you unlock throughout the game. Some of these involve transforming the ball further. So you can kind of change the ball's forms from the typical beach ball, which is bouncy and light, and you can throw it like a decent distance, but it floats on water, and that kind of thing. And you can switch it to a bowling ball, which obviously sinks underwater, so you can kind of take it underwater and hit switches underwater with it. And it's a little bit easier to control. And then there's a ball bearing, which is really small, but it still sinks in water. And that's kind of like the nimblest, fastest one. But it doesn't fly very far when you throw it. It's a ball bearing, but it's better than the bowling ball. And then the last form is the crystal. You can actually transform it back into a crystal, but if it falls any like distance, it is from okay. If it falls any distance, then it shatters, but you get more points from collecting Garibs. So
Wow.
Thank you so much
Garib.
for the Glover break.
Vance, do you
These-
feel educated?
I'm sure Bance is filled to the brim with knowledge. Angry knowledge.
Angry knowledge. She's ready. She's going on an adventure. Okay. goodbye.
Where did we leave off? Alethos, there are screens for you to pop up on. It's your console. There are so many screens.
Hell yeah. I'm on all of them at once. It's very Big Brother. I like to have fun with it.
Okay, yes, I'm starting to see why you needed maintenance now. You've never done this before. Which one of you is the tech here?
That's me.
Yes, you. Cool. Feel free.
Hi.
Go ahead.
Will do.
Just to sell the bit, if you've ever gotten those like, where's the ditto sort of memes, like trying to find the one that's weird, the sort of thing is going on. There's one that's got a wonky face and it switches back and forth. Like just selling the bit that like, yeah, I'm totally busted.
Something so busted. Wow.
Uh-huh.
Let me go figure that out.
Spark is just gonna like kind of go up to one of the little interfaces and kind of click around. Has watched Alethos do it enough, but is really relying on machine talking and visual strings to tie together, and is just just kind of letting Alethos guide them wherever they need to be to make what needs to happen. Because Spark doesn't actually know what's going on. She just sees shit and rolls with it, and it's worked.
Yeah, Alethos, what are you coaching them to do?
I think from what I've gathered so far, it seems like I've kind of overwritten the previous Alethos. Am I feeling like there's an old version of me that I could leave?
Yeah, they're in there. They've just been so the scientist in the board assumed that you had been underwritten as a subsystem. This Alethos has been underwritten as your subsystem because you are a much stronger program now than you were back when you were this Alethos.
Interesting. How difficult would it be to copy myself?
Not difficult at all. It would be so easy.
So I think what Alethos is coaching Spark through is to make a copy of this sort of full them that is the new one and the old one. And in the background I'm sort of, setting it up to leave the old one sort of in here unattached. But I want to see. I haven't had time to figure out if there's anything on this Alethos that I don't know. and I don't trust this anymore. So I want to still have that information, if that makes sense.
Yeah. If you'd like to, you can give me a gather information roll.
Me. Let's see. I imagine arcane interface
Yes,
allows
absolutely.
for this. Okay, perfect. Whew. All right. That's fun. So that's a 23, if I've done my math correctly. If I know one thing, and I do, it's me.
Yeah, you don't find anything particularly surprising on old you. Just your memory files up to this point in time, and as far as you can tell, you were designed as an aspect. This is it's nothing new to you. This is just pretty much an unfettered curiosity, personality core, basically.
Okay. All right. This is fine. I will, to the best of my abilities, coach Spark through pulling me out into something else. And I think there is in the corner of whatever screen she's working on, that map sort of flashes again.
Yeah. So are you sort of hoping to guide the others to wherever they need to go to bring chemicals to drip cores to make your body?
Yes. I think there's. Would I be able to tell that there's a tome in the party now, or
Not unless
like,
Akonis has specifically offered it up. Since it's
yeah,
unplugged, you can't really
yeah,
see
that's
it.
fair. Yeah, then I think it's just showing up in the bottom of the screen, like there's still like the little like Pac-Man dotted line of like go to here, flash thing, go to here, etc. Like I'm not supposed to talk about it. This is me not talking about it because my boss is here. I'm gonna get so fired if I steal a drip core.
What do you guys do?
I'm gonna casually start to just like look curiously at things. Just like look like somebody who is curious about all of this.
Okay. Are you looking for anything in particular in your?
I'm looking for a moment when I am not being observed to start to wander that path that Alethos has pointed out to us.
Sure. We have a roll for this. Move unseen.
God, I have nothing that I can add to these.
You can always pitch something.
It's okay. It was another natural 20 on the dice. And that was a different
Jeepers.
die.
Cool. Yeah, you move without anyone noticing. You're pretty much able to meander your way back into the sort of deeper, more employee-centric areas of the outpost.
I'm gonna just follow that path to where Alethos told us to go.
Anybody else?
Can I follow, or am I pretty much am I being the ruse here? Clicking
I
on the
would say
computer.
at the moment you're pretty much the ruse right now.
Okay, valid.
Once it gets to the point where the body is ready and Alethos needs to be put into it, then you'll need to use your
Cool.
whatchamacallit.
Yeah, I guess Gigi would probably go along with the Akonis. If we've like talked about how we need to get to like the room to put the body together, that probably makes sense because I'm not helping with the computers. That's for sure.
I think Sarah, if those two are going to where Lethos told them. I think Sarah's just gonna make sure Spark's not alone, and stay nearby.
Yeah. Perfect. Cool. You know what? Why don't we make this an overcome roll? The obstacle is getting the right materials into the drip core generator room without being, noticed and without arousing suspicion that these separate locations are being opened and closed multiple times.
Hmm.
I don't know how to do an overcome roll.
It's the same D20. The cost you must pay if you don't succeed is that you will be noticed, and who knows?
Is there some like help I can give by like in the computer or with machine stuff, like making sure a door is shut before like they're seen, or like turning a camera away, like that sort of stuff?
Yeah, if you'd like to give me a just a general mind roll, and you can throw any tech stuff on there if you want to.
Yes, please.
And that'll give them advantage to their overcome rolls.
It's like maybe okay. That's 14, 15, 16.
That's perfect. So you guys will add an advantage to your rolls to gather these materials on top of whatever you guys want to throw on there as well.
And are we putting the materials together right now?
Yeah, there's a bunch of stuff that was present in the generator room when Alethos was made that you need to bring to the generator room now before you can actually produce an Alethos.
I have a skill called organ, or a background skill called organ collector. Could I use that to justify knowing how to put this body together?
I will say that this is in effect being an organ collector, yeah, because you're grabbing parts of Alethos.
Okay.
It may change your conception of what these rooms look like, but I do have like acrobatics. Like my background skill is aerial addict, and so I imagine
I
there's a
will
lot of
say
like
that works.
hoses and things to move. I'm like moving around the top
Yep.
to get everything. Yeah.
There's definitely a couple like little warehouse rooms that you have to monkey around in.
Yeah.
I got a 14.
14. That is so silly.
So are we adding an extra D6 from what
You're adding a
Spark
D6
did?
from Sparks,
Okay.
a D6 from Spark, and then however many D6 you have the rank in your thing, and then
What
you're taking
does-
the highest.
What does our title do? If
you would
invoke
like
our
to
title?
invoke your title, I think that's I don't know if that's necessarily a combat specific mechanic.
It's specifically not combat.
Specifically not combat.
And it's a flat +2.
Yeah.
Okay, and it's a
There you
+2.
go. Thank
Okay,
you.
I'll go and do that because my title is Sky Dancer, and that's what I'm
Absolutely.
doing.
Go ahead and make your roll.
Wow.
Okay, got a 6 and rolled a 19, so 25. Well, +2, 27. Sorry.
Yeah, that definitely at least beats a group DC. Akonis, you're about to get caught by just a roaming scientist, but you see Sparks slams a door behind you, using the interface, and you guys manage to sort of pile up these various chemicals and ingredients by the drip core generator room. The moment you guys enter, it is apparent why these things caused the downfall of this planet. Just based on what the people of Forsaken know as their general history, you guys see what you would think is just a floating liquid mercury ball that is rippling and moving at all times. But you feel your internal magics get warped back to what you're used to them feeling like. You've been feeling a little off since being here, since magic here is right, or as it was before. But in the presence of this drip core, you feel like yourself again, maybe for the first time in a while. And Alethos, as you guide Sarah and Spark this way as well, you guys step into this room, and Sarah, you get that feeling washing over you of, this is normal. This is what normal feels like. This very method of generating energy is warping the magic around it.
So, are we done? How do we get you into your body?
Well, they will need to bring the pieces to me. I need to get myself into it.
Spark, go ahead and give me a mind save.
That's just a D20, right? I don't add anything for a save.
You add your
Or-
mind.
Whoop, that jumped way out of the thing. 15.
You enter this room, the drip core's energy hits you, and these voices impact into your mind harder than they ever have before. You can hear everything. But you can also see Alethos' thread in this room pointing outwards. You need to put Alethos in the drip core engine so that the ingredients brought to them can be activated.
We'll just kind of. Are all of us in the room, or is it just me and Sarah currently?
All of you are in the generator room at the moment. You are out away from prying eyes because your people aren't supposed to be in here. It's dangerous to be this close to a drip core.
It's fine. What's the worst that could happen?
You may want to step back.
I stepped forward and looked at everyone else.
What they said.
A big gulp. And yeah, I'll kind of move for Alethos's string and start walking towards the core and kind of guiding however I need be.
Okay. I'm going to ask for 2 rolls here, one from Spark, one from Alethos. These are both going to be unaspected rolls. I just need Alethos, I need you to tell me how you are helping Spark to unravel yourself from the outpost and moving yourself solely to this engine. And Spark, I just need you to describe how you're bringing Alethos into this thing.
Oh boy, is this description after how horribly we roll?
Nope, it can be before, whatever you're attempting to do.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I think like because so I'm setting the scene, right? We have this like undulating core, and then like all of the pieces are already in their proper parts of the machine. So essentially, once Alethos is added to it, it all like Iron Man clunk 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 clunks them together.
That's the hope.
Something like that.
Okay.
When
Okay.
when Alethos was born, it was a very slow, methodical, like eventual combining. You guys are attempting to add some tannerite to the equation, basically.
Hell yeah. All right.
We're just
Yeah.
speedrunning it. It's probably fine.
Speed running a
Fine.
300-year process.
It's fine. Yeah, I think, we'll kind of start walking up. I think there's a little Spark is very obviously machine minded and knows how to build, and like this probably feels more close to natural than just clicking around in a computer. It's like, oh, I can see all the pieces and how they're supposed to go together is kind of what the vibe is now. And so I think that puts her a little at ease as she'll start to kind of walk up, pulling in on Alethos's thread, like actively trying to like kind of push away any other unknown, and will essentially kind of just like, if a lot of these threads are like machinery and things, like maybe even kind of like literally tying it in a bit to these like different pieces to really like anchor them to it. And I mean, if this thing feels more like normal to her, then she probably doesn't know that she should be as close as she is, and will just like kind of, as if kind of holding Alethos's hand, and like that kind of feeling behind walking them to this core.
Sure. Go ahead and give me that D20 roll while Alethos lets us know what they're up to.
I think once it was clear that everybody was going to be able to essentially pull this off, like we're going to start putting the pieces together, I think that's when Alethos started the reboot process in the background. They had been pretending to run it, and this time they're actually doing it so that when they leave, the old Alethos, the singular Alethos, whatever the one that was there before them, or time's weird, essentially won't remember that they were there, because they don't know how that's going to work with the time flow and whatnot. And as much as they want to fix things for the Arethians, they don't know what that's going to mean for all of these people and where we go back to, and how many people that's going to unexist or whatever. So if we're going to break that, we'll break that later.
A conscious choice by Alethos to condemn the people they were built by. Go ahead and give me a D20 roll. If either of you have background skills you think or want to apply to this, Sparks, you should definitely be adding Machine Speaker to this.
Thank God, because I rolled a solid 10 and I was really scared that wasn't going to be very good. Please give me a 6.
This is a tough roll. On purpose, I promise. Narratively tough roll.
Right.
I feel like arcane interface is a given.
Yes.
But because of explicitly the decision that they're making, I feel like people-pleasing persona is maybe part of it.
I will take people-pleasing persona.
Thank you. And you said this is unaspected, right?
This is an unaspected roll.
That's a 24.
15.
Okay, so here's what I'm imagining, right? From Sparks' POV, I don't know if you guys have seen Inside Out 2 or have seen a trailer, but the new thing they introduced, the sense of self, where it's just like this little jumble of chords.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I'm imagining Spark has sort of tied together around the drip core to pull Alethos into. I watched it today with my nieces. It's pretty good. It's a good movie.
Watch it.
Alethos, you feel yourself once again this sense of unthreading as you are pulled from your hard drive into the drip core engine. This all too familiar sensation overtakes you as you are brought in and a burst of energy is created. Spark, you do not have enough time to move away. The engine begins to glow and reverberate as you pull on Alethos and thread them into this thing. The ripples in the drip core get more and more sporadic. Some of the liquid spurts away from where it's supposed to drip onto and gets onto metal, and you watch that metal rust instantly. and you hear these voices in your head constantly while you're channeling Alethos. But for the moment Alethos makes contact with the drip core, you hear nothing. Your mind goes silent with the machines around you, and all you can hear right before this thing detonates in your face is, "Hello again. I am asking if one of my players has seen their DMs."
Okay. Yes, I have. Sorry. I my Discord was muted. Yeah. Spark is in the imminent blast range of the drip core. And just right in the flash, Sarah also is a little bit too close, I think, and just disappears. And then in between Spark and the blast, just a wall of chains pop up. And then a physical body standing in between Spark and the blast. And Maisie is going to face take the blast.
There is a bright flash. Akonis and Gigi, you watch this occur, and you see these chains erupt from nowhere before the room is taken in a blinding light. And we end our episode. There is silence as we pan away, followed by darkness. I would like to give everyone a chance to go around, remind us who they are, where we can find them on the internet, and give them a chance to plug anything they would like to plug. I think, Tay, you have the schedule, yeah? You do announcements around here?
Yeah. You want me to just talk about a schedule after that fucking cliffhanger? You want
Well,
me to
I'm just
talk
saying you
about
could go
normal
last
life?
if you want to.
Yeah, I'll go last. I need to recoup.
Okay. So I will manifest the mic in Eve's room, and we will start from there.
Hi. I'm Eve. I'm processing. At EJ the Gray on social media, like most of them. While supplies last. I don't think I do anything else right now, but I'm here. If you want to run a game here, not in October, we're pretty booked up, but like other times. Just talk to me. We'll get it worked out. I want to play. Invite me to play games. That might be free. I don't know. Let's hang out. But I'll pass the mic to Harp. Just lay it gently in the interdimensional space.
Thanks. And I'm actually gonna not take it out of the interdimensional space because it looks really comfortable being softly laid there. Instead, I'm gonna project my voice interdimensionally so that it can pick it up. Hi, I'm Harper. I played Sarah for this session, who started shit. And that's kind of it. Do you want more of me? That's okay. I'm on They Call Us Villains every other Tuesday. Not this last Tuesday, but it'll be Tuesdays going forward. And also the other Tuesday I'm on The Lost Caravan for Old Gods of Appalachia. And I'm doing other stuff too, but that's for later. And I am going to kind of leave the microphone in this space, just letting it be for once. We've put this microphone through so much over the years. And I think, Kit, ball's in your court. Mike's just there.
Ball's in my
Tip of my-
court. Mike is not, but that's okay. Alas, we ball. I'm gonna turn my mic back into cursed, and I'm going to project the horrors and also my outro directly into your minds. Hello, I am Kit. You can find me most places on the internet at Kit Roll, some places at Kit Roll Cause. Am I being a horror again, or am I just hearing it this time?
I definitely hear something.
Are you? That would be
But
my
it's
AC,
fine.
I
Oh,
think.
Okay, all right. I
okay.
thought I was
You're
haunted
good.
again. Okay, excellent. You can still find me those places, haunted or no. Um, aside from this, my schedule is pretty light recently, cause I'm getting ready to move. So you'll see me again probably more in the new year. We'll figure it out when we get there. But in the interim, if you want to see what I'm up to, hit the socials. If you want to see my face, hang out here for this show. And if you want to hear my voice and not necessarily any of the other stuff, you can check out Bloom and Blight. If you like magical girls, if you like queer stories, if you like the Madoka sort of vibes of magical girl nonsense, you could check us out. We're Bloom and Blight. Anywhere you get your podcast, we're a Girl by Moonlight actual play podcast, GM'd by one of the lovely folks in this room. And we are on a little between season break. We're going to be coming back with season 2 shortly. And if you haven't peeped the new season 2 trailer with music done by another lovely face in this very chat, hop on over to the Discord server, which you can find on bloomandblight.com, and check it out. Come hang out with us. People are chatting. There's fan art. It's awesome. If you want to stay up to date with what the podcast is doing, you can find us on basically all of the socials at Bloom and Blight. And if you want that link to that Discord, cast character information, transcripts of our episodes, things like that, you can go to bloomandblight.com and find all of that goofy nonsense. And if you run into any of our delightful cast IRL at cons and other things, we may have a little surprise for you. I'm not sure if I'm supposed to be talking about this, but I'm going to. We might have little
Reveal
reveal of just the what, maybe a secret set. Don't worry about it. It's fine. Come hang out with us, see us in person, find us in the wild, and we'll have some shenanigans to share with you. But that's really all I got going on at the moment. So I'm gonna send my mic, not the interdimensional mic. She is taking a well-deserved break, but my mic, I'm gonna send it to an exorcist. And the closest I know to that is Kian.
That is the highest honor anybody has ever bestowed upon me.
I
I'm
trust.
going to eat the mic.
That's about right, yeah.
Immediately. Hello, everybody. My name is Kian. My pronouns are they, he. You can find me on the interwebs at uptight_chiffon, uptight-chiffon, depending on where you're hanging out. The other things that I do, I hang out with Harp every other Tuesday on Entropy Emporium for They Call Us Villains, our Horror Masks campaign. Every other Saturday, IGM Blooming in the Rot, our Invisible Sun actual play over on Entropy Emporium. Next Tuesday, less than a week from today, I will be here GMing Bones of Bathala, a Morkborg hack, which I am super excited about. It is inspired by pre-colonial Filipino mythology and origin and creation stories. And it's a very beautiful, gritty, terrifying game, and I'm super stoked about that. What else do I do? What else can I talk about? I can't talk about literally anything else on my schedule right now, I don't think. So follow me on social media. That is where you will hear about it first. Since I have eaten the mic, I will manifest it in my psyche and project it to JT.
Okay, and I will take the mic and put it into the Green Lantern core, like just fully in there. Hi, I'm JT. You can find me all over the internet at WeebG. I'm also all over the internet at Entropy Emporium, because it's technically, only technically, my channel. I kind of run things over there, and by run things, I mean I let people, go feral and argue about Pop-Tarts and get absolutely cuckoo bananas about Ghibli films and Heathers and the like. It's fun. You should come check us out if you want to. We have a whole swath of shows, which I will go over in but a moment. For now, this is kind of the only other thing I'm in that isn't going to get announced on the Entropy Emporium thing. But I need to ask Harp a question real quick. I want to ask Harp if maybe it's still too early to talk about the other thing, the thing.
Give it one more. Give it one
Give
more.
it one
Next time.
more
Next time.
next time. Okay,
Give
no,
it one
you're
more.
right. You're right. You're right. Okay, so Entropy Emporium every other Tuesday, as mentioned by Harp and Kian, is They Call Us Villains, or Horror Masks actual play. Every other Thursday is God Complex. It is a Pacific Rim Neon Genesis Evangelion inspired Girl by Moonlight game run by Will. It's very sad core. If you like being sad about characters who can't do anything about their situation, come watch us, because that's exactly what we got going on. Uh, every other Friday is the Weird Wilds War. It is a 5e homebrew campaign run by yours truly, that is me, where the planes have disappeared. Where did they go? And will they find them? Who knows? Every other Saturday, as Keen mentioned, Blooming in the Rot, Invisible Sun campaign. Very fun. I play the nicest man on earth in that one. It's true. And then I think you guys only have one more episode of public access on Monday. Yep, well, next Monday, one more episode, public access. It's an anthology, so there will be more, I think. So come check that out. That's been really fun to see come to fruition. It's also the only thing on the channel that I am like 0% involved in, I think, which is really cool. Because I have a lot of people I trust and I want them to tell cool stories. That's the idea. Anyway, I'm gonna take the Green Lantern core and smash it to pieces and get the mic out and then ship the mic long distance the other way around to Tay.
I need you to know that when you said Green Lantern Corps, like I understood you meant the core, but at first I thought you meant like CORP. So then I pictured the mic in a Green Lantern outfit.
That's
So
true.
that is what I rebuild the mic to look like, and it sits on my shelf forever now. But I will plug it in to use it for this. Hello, I'm Taylor. I'm Potato on the internet. You can find me here doing this every other Wednesday as well as every other Tuesday until we wrap up this season for Werewolf the Apocalypse Rage across Texas. This time we left Dallas and we're still raging. It is good time. It is terrifying. We nearly died. I might still die. Casey might die. We left on a cliffhanger with both of us. We will die if we don't get medical treatment immediately. You can also find me every other Monday on the Lost Caravan playing Lancer Hell's Gate. Other than that, I'm not doing much. Kid already did an amazing job with Bloom and Blight, so I'm just gonna like echo, hey, listen to that. But here there will be some more things happening that I may or may not be involved in. But let's go through what we've got going on High Shelf Collective, friends. Saturday will be the kickoff of Morktober, baby. We are doing Mork Borg related games all fucking month. Saturday, we will have a good old cyborg game ran by Owen. On Sunday, the 6th, we will have a just good old Morkborg game. No variety to it there, just the plain Jane game that made it all possible. Ran by Holly. Then, like Ian said, we will have their game on the 8th, which will be next Tuesday. We will have on the 11th, Pirate Borg, which will be ran by Finn. If you watched the last Pirate Board game that Finn ran on our channel, it was a hoot and a half. So come hang out for that one. You can also then find the we'll have one more on the 17th, which will be a Thursday. We will have Orc Borg, like 40k orcs, but Mork Borg. So it's gonna get wild. Mike is going to run that, and then we will wrap up Morktober on the 20th with myself running Smorgasbord, which is a Morkboard game for kobolds ain't my baby. They're going to be goofy kobolds and probably die a lot and eat a lot of things. Maybe each other. Who knows? But I can't get it back on my shelf. Okay.
And then obviously we have this every other Wednesday, and then the last caravan on Thursdays. It will not be this Thursday, but keep an eye out on when it will come back. But that's all I think that we've got going on here. Does anyone have any final things they would like to say while I try and find somewhere to raid?
My friends and I recently started developing a prototype card game called Dan TCG. I'm just vamping. Harp Glover.
I'm excited.
What kind of Dans you got?
Yeah,
okay.
do dance
I
moves.
already-
What about
I-
your
I-
Dan?
Do you want to hear
Thankfully,
some
this
sample
time-
bands?
I want to see some sample dance. Thankfully, this time it didn't take long to actually find a TTRPG stream
Nice.
with diversity, because that's
Oh.
usually what takes me forever
Huge.
is to find diversity streams. So we're gonna go over to Laugh Love Lindsay. We absolutely love Laugh Love Lindy, and it looks like Trooper is running Reading Between the Good Society, y'all. Let's go watch that. Make sure to give them some love in chat, so that way they get the credit for us being there. But everybody have a great night. Love you all. Don't be
Bye.
dick.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Drink responsibly.
Or not.
Or not.